Tyagi, yeah.
Okay, let's see. Okay, I think we're live now. We're live now, aren't we?
I think so.
Yes, we're live.
Yeah.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to my channel.
Hi, thank you so much for having us back.
Hi, Gayle. Hi, Suchin.
Hey.
Long time no see.
Long time no see. No, Gayle, I actually literally just saw yesterday. My name is Sucharita. Thank you for everybody thank you everybody who's been waiting to watch this live stream where the three of us are going to be talking about Miss Marvel, the first season. And joining us shortly is Mohan Kapur, who plays Yusuf and is the father of the year. He's joining us shortly. He's in London. He's running from one spot to the second spot to join us. Like he'll be here any minute. I think in about 5-6 minutes or 7-8 minutes or 10 minutes maybe. But he's going to join us. Until then, why don't you subscribe to the channel and hit that like button. If you hit the like button, people will be able to see that this live stream is going on, and if they see that this live stream is going on, more people will be incentivized to come and join us. Mohan will be here shortly. Suchin, Gayle and I spoke about Miss Marvel yesterday on our live stream. You share what are your initial thoughts on the first season of the show?
So I was actually thinking about it a lot today because I only finished the last episode yesterday or the day before. I think it's the more I think about it, the more I think it's the first. I think it's the first MCU series that doesn't earn its length in the sense that it needed to be longer.
Stop. Really?
I thought so. I thought that because of it tries to do so much. I thought, like it's doing the superpower origin story thing. It's doing sort of the representation thing. It's doing the personal coming of age story thing. It's trying to tackle partition in a very sort of ambitious way. And it just felt like there was so many things that they tried to do in a very short amount of time. I really thought it needed more breathing room to do all of that. And there's so many things that everything I love about the show, I wanted to spend longer with it. About the first 2 episodes. Kamala, her story, her family, her friends. You just want to spend longer with them. So yeah, and I just felt that I admire a lot of it. I enjoyed a lot of it, but it needed. If that's everything you're trying to achieve, which is very ambitious in 6 episodes, it needed more breathing.
What you're saying makes complete sense to me because if we had more episodes, I think we could have spent more time with like Najma and the clandestines and then got to care for them more.
Exactly.
And then got to root for their sense of purpose maybe more. To me, they were sort of undercooked.
Yeah.
I didn't really feel for them at any point. And they just appeared like stock villains. Najma's death also didn't hit quite as hard because I was never invested in her journey or her like attempts to get back home. So yeah, I think a few more episodes would have solved that.
I didn't really know enough about Najma. Fantastic actor, great performance, and a great opening to the performance as well, right? Because you're giving us an origin story, and that origin story is so deeply steeped in the culture that Kamala comes from, and the history, and her family, and the women. Because the antagonist is a woman, the protagonist is a woman, the history is a woman. So it's so deeply it's so interesting to me to see where this is coming from and where this is going to go. I was disappointed when the Jinn angle just doesn't really go anywhere, because jinns are such a a story as old as time. We've all heard stories of jinns, and some jinn is from here and some jinn is from there, and they really don't go into that. Instead, they take a detour and go deep into the partition story, so much so that they start way back in 1942, building up to 1947, and then to current time. I really hope they would have gone into the myth of this story that they were developing. What did you guys think of the jinn background?
But even that, that world building, the jinn and the noor and stuff, I really felt that it needed more breathing room. A lot of it just went over my head. I had to just try to understand. And similarly, even just all the superpowers of the show, just the superhero sliver of everything they're trying to do. In Kamala's whole journey of getting the powers, getting used to them, coming into her own. Even that I felt like needed more breathing room to. Again, it comes from trying to do so many very ambitious things in a short amount of time. But I would have liked to have spent more time just to get that arc of fumbling and really coming to your own, and that last episode of her finally becoming, feeling a bit more earned.
I also felt like Najma's whole attempts to get back home was a very meaningful sort of purpose by itself. You don't need the whole thing of okay, she's going to get back home and then the veil's going to separate and then she's going to destroy our dimension. We've seen world-ending stakes in the MCU a dozen times now. At this point, if you say the world is ending, it just sort of, my eyes glaze over. Her being on a personal quest to get back home would have been so much more meaningful.
This is why the guest who's joining us today is very exciting to me, because Mohan plays the most intimate, the most amazing and the lovely part of this show is Kamala's relationship with her parents. Because Muniba knows that there is magic in the family and she's hiding it, and then Mohan perhaps knows and perhaps doesn't know Yusuf, but his whole thing is that he's trying to be this cool dad and he doesn't know how to raise a daughter because he's raised a son, and he gets such a lovely moment right before Amir's wedding, and when they talk about what it is to be men and getting married and having a family and loving your family and things like that, but he doesn't know how to raise a daughter. And also the age gap between Amir and Kamala is so high, something they talk about in the last scene as well, that we were trying to have you for a very long time and we just couldn't have another kid, and then you came and you were like magic and it was Marvel. So he's older than like a father of a teenager would be.
Honestly, didn't think of any of this stuff till you said it now. It's actually a lot more interesting. Like, it makes you want to watch it again.
And it's really interesting how he's trying to be cool for this kid who he doesn't understand, and then also realizes that this household is run by his wife, who has a very strong mind, and everything will fall apart if Muniba is not taking care of the whole family, because Muniba is the only one who fully understands what it is like to have magic, because she's heard these stories from her mother, and her mother, as we find out, probably told her all these stories her whole life and said, this is the bangle, put it on. And Muniba was like, no, I will not do it, I will not, because I don't want magic, I don't want superpowers. So she was probably, it's hinted when Kamala asks her, what is this bangle? And she says, no, that's none of your business, it's junk. So Yusuf plays this character who understands this relationship and understands the importance of the women in the family holding everything together. I thought it was lovely. So yeah, coming back to the point where all of us were hoping it to be what it promised to be, an intimate show about a young girl told with empathy, who's realizing that she's different and how she makes her way in the world, but it suddenly very quickly takes a turn towards saving the world, which was disappointing. But having said that, it's still very warm, it's still very sweet, and the show feels like a hug.
Everything you're saying about the really interesting family dynamics, and I just feel like there's so much there. It's a prime example where I really wish I could have spent longer with them. But having said that, for all of that stuff, like you said, it really is such a warm show. And if I still think of some of the things it did within the MCU, and it's still like, holy shit, I can't believe they did that. I can't believe they tackled partition. I can't believe they got these actors and, made it feel so, I mean, at least if you look at the first 2 episodes, it's representation of culture in such an authentic insider's perspective. I was like, it still blows my mind that this is in the MCU. It was wonderful.
Like small moments like Yusuf just sitting and like watching a cricket match, like all of these just feel so familiar. Like Muniba saying, it's not that we don't trust you, we don't trust anyone else. All of these are just so familiar and so warm. Yeah. And also when you spoke about the family dynamics, I feel like Muniba sort of taking on the role of the bad cop or the stricter parent sort of frees Yusuf up to be the good cop, to be the chill, relaxed dad. He definitely couldn't have been that without Muniba being the stricter parent and being the bad cop for the children's sake. So that dynamic is something I found very interesting.
I want to say thank you to Shaunak for sending me a super chat. That's very kind. If anybody wants to send super chats, please do. But do please also like this stream. Super chat nahi bhejna hai, to super like kar do stream ko, so more people will realize that this is happening. Mohan should be joining us in another 5 minutes because he is in London. So we're having like thoda aisa match. उनका टाइम और हमारा टाइम मैच कर रहे हैं. Tanmay Singh, Sucharita, such a cool background you have. You should perhaps do a separate stream telling us what books and artwork you have over there. Yeah, I actually totally should. I have a lot of books from Pauline Kael, who I really loved. She was a film critic, and I did not. I discovered her only a few years ago when I watched a film on her at the Mami Film Festival. I have. Your typical Khalid Hussainis as always. There's Trevor Noah and things. So yeah, no, maybe I will take everybody through.
Do you actually read? You actually read the books?
Yeah, I've read all of these.
Oh, I keep them in the background so people think I'm smart. I don't actually read.
What books do you have in your background?
I don't know. I got this. This is like cup holders and paperweights and stuff.
You're a ridiculous person. And Gayle has stuffed toys. Is that
toys,
Tom?
Which I will pretend are my younger brother since he is not here.
Talk to me about the music of Miss Marvel, you guys. What was your favorite part about the music, Suchin?
No, I love the soundtrack. Like even just throughout, it just again, I keep thinking of the first two episodes because that's the first time. Like we weren't expecting anything, and you're hit with this. Like those artists, these are people we listen to. You're discovering new artists, and even small things like I can't remember one of the episodes where when the opening Marvel logo unit comes, and then they play something a lot, and I was like, right down to obviously the Sangeet wedding performance. And so honestly, like. It never felt like a gimmick to me. I felt each and every bit of it. It felt so organic to the point where, like, now if I hear like a non-Hindi, non-Asian song in a Marvel project, I'm like, that's just fake. No, that doesn't.
I never skip the intro. This is the only show where I never skipped intro.
Yeah.
Because it's very exciting to see what songs they're gonna add into it. Gail, what about you, music-wise?
I love when Kamala first gets her powers, and then she's sort of gaining confidence, and then she comes into school. And Riz Ahmed's Deal With It starts playing.
Nice.
That to me was a great
boys.
Again, Kamran getting out of the pool and Jalebi Baby playing, that made me laugh really hard. That was a great needle drop. Pasuri, of course.
Yeah. Pasuri तो just I think was there because अभी वो बहुत popular हो गया है reels पे गाना. वो गाना originally नहीं था उस show में. I'm pretty certain of it, and they added it in because it's become very popular. But I really appreciated Jalebi Baby. I thought that was a really fun moment.
Even Ritviz for me was like.
Ritviz, yeah.
Yeah, it's just like it's a stupid thing, but it's like whoever made this show listens to the same thing I do. Like it's such a it makes you feel like this was made for me by me. Like it just makes you feel a lot more included.
I was reading somewhere, I think on like fandom wiki of some sort, that this show is technically supposed to be taking place in 2025. Gail, I'm gonna throw that to you. Is that something that you think might be true? I don't
honestly,
know. The whole timeline of things with Thanos.
Honestly, at this point, I've lost track of the whole MCU timeline. Like even I don't know, like to me Eternals is such an outlier because there's a celestial sticking out of the earth, but like no other property is referencing that. It's really, like it's confused me, so I have no idea what
also the last thing that actually referenced Thanos. Like after that they always talk about the blip, right? Even Spider-Man they said 5 years blip. Even in
Shang-Chi they said blip.
Yeah, WandaVision also there was 5. But post Eternals, everything they've just like not. It's like the kid you're not proud of. It's just nobody ever talks about it.
Because in this show doesn't mention about the blip at all.
I think I saw somewhere that like all of the Kamala's whole family survived the blip, so they have no reason to really talk about it since it didn't affect them.
Her whole family, all her friends, everyone she knows in her life, like she has no trauma from the blip.
Yeah, I mean, I think the writers themselves said that her family survived. I don't know about her friends, but it makes sense that they don't talk about it because it's not personal to them.
Maybe that's the age difference between her and her brother. I don't know if that makes sense.
What?
No,
all right. Let's talk about cameos. Suchin?
Wait, my brain is kind of too wacky. I mean, certainly the only one I think of is the last one. I mean, obviously the post-credits. I mean, it was, first of all, it's really annoying. I knew it was coming because it was in the teaser, the official Miss Marvel teaser of the last episode.
Yeah.
They shot Brie Larson in that, which really annoyed me. I'm like, why would you?
Yeah.
So I expected it, but it was still cool, I guess.
Mohan is trying to join us, guys.
Speaking of cameos.
Oh, there he is! Hi!
I am so sorry for everybody over here. I'm really, really sorry.
You're good!
Perfect timing.
Yeah.
You're good. Hi, Mohan. Hi, how are you?
I'm good. Just very stressed about the whole coming on time and stuff like that. Yeah.
I'm so sorry. And I really appreciate your time today. I really appreciate that you ran to make this happen.
No, man. Seriously, thank you for having me.
So we're like fans, okay? We're fans of the show. We've been discussing it for a while, and we're also critics, so we've also pointed out some things that did not work in the show for us, and we've been talking about that as well. But what worked in the show?
Whatever didn't work, me nahi kela.
Huh.
That's actually true. You know,
Might nahi.
Everything you were in actually worked quite well. I'm not just saying that. Like that was probably the best parts of the show.
No, it's true because the show starts off, and you said this on the red carpet as well, Mohan. I was watching your clips, that the show is not standing tall saying we are going to show you what our culture is all about. It just is. They just go to namaz, they just go to their prayers, they just wear the shalwar kameez, they just have their customs and cultures. They start randomly talking in Urdu, and it's no one ever says that, okay, can you switch to English, we don't understand, and then no one else is giving a sermon saying, you know, you should also know another language, why do Americans only know English? That moment, that heavy-handedness is not there. So firstly, like, tell us what it was like being on this big MCU show, Mohan.
Um, I'll be very honest. When I got it, my agent, when she called me, she's in LA. I was in Bombay, and given the time difference, I was sleeping. But I'd gotten used to it because there was so much chatter going on about, we got to do this, we got to do that, and the visa, and blah blah blah. We got to put your IMDb together. All that stuff was going. So I was used to her calling at odd hours and keeping me up for a couple of hours every other time.
Yeah.
But this one time she called and I was like, "Hello," and she's
Huh.
saying like, "You got it, you got it." She was so excited. That sweet lady, she was so excited. And I was like, okay. It didn't hit me the way I thought it would hit me. And then obviously, as she kept talking, my sleep kind of went away, and then I woke up, and then I started saying, "Oh yeah, man, I've got a Hollywood project." But it was just a Hollywood project. I've got a Hollywood project. It's a job, but it's a good job. It's a Hollywood job. And oh yeah, it's Marvel, and I'm a Marvel audience, and I'm not a fan freak. I'm not Kamala Khan kind of Marvel addict, but I'm a Marvel freak for watching their stuff. I love watching their stuff.
You've also been active participant in the Marvel universe in terms of all the work that you've done with your dubbing.
Yeah. I've done Red Skull and I've done Doctor Strange.
All the Doctor Stranges, right? That's massive. That's big. You've watched
No,
all of them.
I couldn't make it for the multiverse, the latest one.
Yeah.
I couldn't make it. I was in New York at that time. So no, I didn't do that one. But yeah, so it was fantastic, and honestly, it was just, I said that, oh, I've got a project and it's an international project. And Marvel hai. But what the meganess of this thing called Marvel, it actually hit me on the day it landed on Disney Plus and Disney Plus Hotstar.
No way.
I was gobsmacked. I said, my God, because over the 2 years that one has been working on one heard that, oh, you don't know, Marvel is like this, Marvel is like that. I said, oh, really? It's that big? And even the actor, because the younger lot, this is all their first time. So Kamala and all, you can't believe that they're first time actors. And we'd all be sitting in a, because we were red zone, COVID, and also we were called red zone. Nobody's allowed to come next to us, and we're not allowed to go next to anyone and stuff like that. So we would all be sitting in actors, and because they're all the same age and all that, so they'd be playing them Nintendos and talking. Then you hear them have arguments of which is better, Infinity War or Endgame, and I'm like sitting there and I'm saying, Jesus Christ, these guys have a life or no? What is this? I was like, yeah, that's when it hit me, yaar, Mohan, tu buddha ho gaya, yaar. Because in my time, there was no Marvel. There was Star Wars and those kind of things, Star Trek. But then there was Martin Scorsese, there was Sylvester Stallone, there was, Dolph Lundgren. There was those films, standalone big ones.
Yeah.
So now suddenly the whole paradigm has changed, and there's a reason why they call it the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And that universe, I think, also includes the audience. So it's huge, man. It's huge. So it hit me like a ton of bricks only the day it landed, and then all the feedback. And I honestly thought that बाप का रोल कर रहा हूँ यार, इंडिया में भी बाप का रोल बहुत किया है. बाप का रोल कर रहा, वो अच्छा है. He did a decent job. Good. He represented very well. Okay, nice. But when I started seeing the kind of reactions I was getting, I was saying, wow, man, this is really something. So yeah, it was big, man.
Are you at the liberty to tell us how much more Marvel work are you doing?
Do you even know?
I'm just doing Captain Marvel 2, which is called The Marvels.
Nice.
And yeah, so the Khan family gets involved in that.
So he's so casual, y'all. It's like, I'm just doing the next Captain Marvel, just. Hello, excuse me.
I'm trying to be very nonchalant about it because I don't know how much I'm allowed to tell.
Just.
I think I can confidently say in that screening, the Khan family will get a louder cheer than Miss Marvel herself. I can say that. I mean, Captain Marvel herself. I feel like we'd all lose our minds.
I believe so. We were on the red carpet for Miss Marvel. Kevin Feige came up to me and he's saying that, in the Captain Marvel edit and all that, he's saying the Khan family is the soul of the film. So like, really? He's saying you cannot believe the Khan family love that has happened with Captain Marvel. So I was like, wow, man, that's really good.
Yeah, so Suchin, you had a few questions. I'm going to let you take it away. In the interim, I'm going to go through what the audience is saying right now on the live chat.
Yeah.
Go.
So you talked about, how big it was when it released. I really want to ask you, what's the coolest message you've got, or the coolest person or specific thing somebody said to you ever since they've watched the show and messaged you? Have you got like one thing that's really stuck with you that either a regular fan or somebody else has said?
There's a lot. I mean, right from that, the best MCU dad, the best. I mean, he's the coolest dad. He's just represented it so well. All that. But the thing that really actually struck me was one of the first tweets after it landed. But there is the scene of the Zuzu, where he's sitting and Kamala comes and says, "I want to go to, this thing with Bruno." And the parents are sitting there, and Muniba says, "No, you cannot go. There'll be God knows what kind of haram going on over there, and this, that, and the other." And she pulls Amir, her brother, and says that he can go, he can do anything. And I say, "But you're not special." And she says, "What do you mean?" No, you're special. So that scene, Bruno has just left after giving me a brief on the Zuzu. They're like the so-called Alexa of ours.
Yeah.
And so before he leaves, we put on cricket, to show that that's what South Asians watch. And he's watching cricket, and he calls Muniba, "Oh, Muniba, baitho," and he's watching it. And Kamala starts talking, and he says that, "Beta, 1 minute." And she's saying, "Abu, Ammi," and she's saying that. And then she's saying, "There is this thing that I want to go to." And then when he hears that, this is something that wasn't expected. She wants to go alone with Bruno to a public thing, Akeli, young child or minor. So he just goes, "Zuzu, TV band karo." And the TV goes off. So there was a small thing. I just pleased with myself. I mean, I just did it as actor. I just did, "Zuzu, TV band karo." Then I went back. I gave the smile that, "Oh, my command Zuzu heard and the TV's gone off." So it's just like, "Oh," and then "Oh, but this is more important." Now that little, that little registering of that little smile, one guy on Twitter got it, man. And he's saying masterclass in performance, his achievement of getting Zuzu to listen to his voice and the excitement he feels because he's not a technologically, savvy guy. And he's saying, then he suddenly realizes he has to get back to this. I was like, wow, man, people really notice stuff. And
sometimes
honestly,
Twitter can be wonderful.
I thought I was the only guy who notices such things because I'm very pernickety about things like continuity and sometimes for a laugh, I love watching the junior actors, the co-actors who are standing behind the crowd. They are on another tangent, man, in life. I'm not even Miss Marvel. I'm talking about in films in general. And in Indian films, so they're on another level, man. They're on another planet. It's like if somebody slaps them, they'll realize that they don't realize because those guys are sleeping. It's that bad. So I was very shocked that there's someone like me who noticed that and who appreciated by saying that masterclass in performance by Mohan. I was like, oops. So that was very precious. And then of course, then there's all that love for the Bada Hulk scene where I jump in, go.
Okay. So let's go. Let's get into the scenes. Okay, I'm gonna share some things here, and let's then chat about oh my goodness, where is that? Where is it? Okay, so we're gonna get in some of these scenes, and we are going to chat about some scenes that we have picked out, Mohan, that have stayed with us on a like individually. What are the scenes that we love? Okay, so favorite Yusuf moments. The one, obviously, first one is Bada Hulk and Choti Hulk, and let's get into that scene. But I'm gonna play that scene. I'm gonna play like 30 seconds of it, and let's watch it first together, and then we shall chat about it. Oh, this is the wrong one. This is also the wrong one. This is it.
The Hulk! Wait, best is yet to come. Ta-da!
Oi,
See, Kamala, big Hulk and little Hulk, Bada Hulk or Choti Hulk. Huh? So cute you all will look. Huh? Oh my God.
I love Muniba saying, huh? So cute you all will look. Talk to us about this scene, Mohan, and how many retakes did it take for you to get it right and not die laughing?
one take.
Amazing.
One take. I mean, this angle that you showed, this was one take. This was one take. There were rehearsals, of course. There were rehearsals. But this, I believe, was one take because they didn't know how I'm going to enter. This was even a surprise to them. This I only told the sound engineer because he had to check his volume, and to the cameraman because I told him that I will jump in so in case you need headspace and all that. I said, "This thing, what are you going to do?" I said, "Something big." And I told the director, "Something big." So this thing, "What big?" I said, "You see it if you like it, keep it. If you don't, we'll reshoot it." They said, "Okay." So she goes, "Ta-da!" And I could see from the corner my everybody cracking up, man. Somebody is holding their file, somebody is doing this, they're hiding behind things and all that so that they don't come in our eye line and all that. So I knew that we could, and usually that's the thing with me because if I know वो कहते हैं ना कि सुर पकड़ लिया, if I've got the sur, I know that the thing. I've never till today gone behind a monitor and seen my performance because I believe in if the director's okay it, I will only do this say that अरे यार वो सुर नहीं पकड़ा है, so one more please. But if I've got the sur, then I don't need to.
What was everyone's first reaction when they saw you in the full Hulk getup? Or was this the first time like the other actors saw you? Or like what was their first reaction when they saw you in the full costume?
They see Hulk.
So when we went from our trailer to the floor, we have to wear Obi-Wan Kenobi kind of,
robes,
cloaks, so that nobody can take photographs.
Pictures, yeah.
So we're all this thing, and there are people who kind of crowd around you and take you into the studio. Then once from your zone, when they say that, okay, now the set is blue, which means that set is good to go to shoot. So everybody else moves out because of COVID. That was because more of COVID protocol. So once they move out and then we get into frame. So then that time everybody of course sees it and they were like laughing, the sound engineer, because he had to mic me and all that. They were like laughing. They saying, "Are you serious? This is actual green makeup and all." I said, yeah. So so it was quite funny because in fact in the trailer when after I got the makeup and I put on the clothes and all, I said that now I need to know what I'm going to do with this Hulk, man. So then when I did that, I burst out laughing. I said, this is so bizarre, man. This is so bizarre. Then I started laughing. And this thing about the specs, that was an intentional thing because, to break this thing of that he's only doing Hulk. So I had, before entering the room of that Chak De Pate, I had loosened the specs and put it a little bit lower on my bridge. So when I jumped in and again I did that ha. So then I got that opportunity for Yusuf, to do this. That he's a dad, he tried something and his specs came loose. So doing that. So yeah, so it was great fun. Yeah, it was great fun.
It's such a unique moment. Yes, Gayle, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I just wanted to ask how much free reign do you get then on a show like this? Because you said you came up with Chak De Fate in this big moment, right? Do you get a lot of moments to improvise?
Oh yeah. In fact, so we always would have a reading for every episode before you go into shoot an episode. You would have extensive reading, and they discuss and this and that. And in fact, I remember the first reading, first time, episode 1, back in October 2020. The first thing I asked the director and the creator Sana Amanat, I said that, how do you see these characters, these South Asian immigrant Pakistani family? I mean, is it going to be, oh, hello, I am India, my name is Yusuf Khan and all that, that typical thing. They saying, no, please, no caricature, no over the top, doing that stuff. I said, no cliches, no caricature. She's saying no. So I said, thank God. She's saying, you're not people and, you're not this and that. Yeah, so then when we would read this thing, then we would figure out things and we'd say, okay, then somebody would like Sagar, the guy who plays Amir. He's very good at stand-up. So he'd do a lot of improvising in the rehearsals and the reading, and which would work a lot of time. So they included into the script. And then there were a lot of times that people on set would try to improvise, and people would say, "Is that in the script?" No, leave it. Cut it out. Because the writer, this writer's studio is so involved, man. They sit for it on months on end. You can't suddenly go and change it because you've got your own punchline and you want your moment in the sun.
Yeah.
So they're very clear about that. But what works for them, they are open to it like crazy. They're very, very, very accommodating. Very accommodating.
Now that Gayle has stepped into this conversation, let's play Gayle's favorite, one of her favorite scenes from this show. Another 30-second clip, Mohan, and then we'll talk about it. Cool. Let's go.
Oh. I still get the show.
Look at that footwork! Alright, so now let's talk about the wedding sequence.
Check out the irony, man. 30 years in the industry in India, I've never done it here. I've gone and done it in Hollywood. In a
You've
Marvel
never
Suchin.
done a wedding sequence before?
I've done, but not this kind of dance and all that, yeah. Come on.
Wow. This is your first choreographed dance sequence that you've done. That's insane to me.
So when they said this, they said that so at the whole family dances and all that. I thought because the way they said it, and then Yusuf and Muniba will have a moment and all. So I thought they're joking. So they said, no, are you serious? I said, are you crazy? I said, I don't dance. I don't do that shit, man. I said, मेरे को जूते मरवाओ हीरो से, मैं किसी को मारूं वो दूसरी बात है. All that shit I can't do all this 1, 2, 3, 4, turn, 1, 2. I can't do all that shit. What are you doing? So they said, no, it's very integral. And then I realized that, no, it's very integral, a part of, South Asian family, shadi and that situation and the Bharati. And then Yusuf being the kind of father, he's not a Khadu's father, Pratishta, Anushashan and all that. He's not that Khadus to sit on the side and have worked out. he's a loving guy. So he's going to join into the whole thing because he's celebrating his son's thing. And because just before that, the whole mosque scene and he's talked to his son and all that, given him yarn.
Yeah.
So then they said, okay, so then we had rehearsal. So we would go to the dance studio and there were these Indian choreographers from LA who had come down. And the great thing was that, they were pretty girls. So, I mean, I was excited about going to dance rehearsal. But I see Bhatti, my God. And then if you notice the steps and all that, so and there was still time for that sequence to come, but they started rehearsing. So I actually, they recorded it, video and all that. So I said, send it to me on WhatsApp. So they sent it to me. So I would study that whole thing, One, the choreographer's doing it, and then what we've done. Trust me, sitting in the car now set, we're not doing anything. I'd go off to the side and I'll go, and people will be looking at me and laughing, and I'm saying, yeah, this is so scary. One day, I remember I called up Muniba in a hotel and I said, yaar, sin ho gaya. Bhatti hui hai. She said, what happened? So I said, yeah, that step, I'm confused. Do I turn this or this? And then do those guys, the Samdi log, they come over. She started laughing. She said, Mohan, chill out, man. You're doing fine. I've seen your rehearsal. You're doing fine. Because I wanted it to be perfect. The day before that, I think, remember, I just turned around and I was thinking to myself, I said, I'm not Hrithik Roshan, I'm not Shah Rukh Khan. Why am I trying to be perfect? I'm Yusuf Khan. I'm a father who's enjoying the celebrations for his son's wedding. Express here, do the steps. So I knew my steps, but there were some steps I purposely muffed up. So that it looked like, Arey yaar, Yusuf, Arey yaar, Arey. So, it's like, if you notice the thing, there are some steps I kind of miss out and then I just catch on with the other. So for me, I said, he's a dad. He's going to dance like a dad. He's going to make his goofs, but he's going to enjoy. He's going to laugh about it. And so, yeah, but that was great fun. Finally, because I decided, I said, and few of my friends, they're dancers and all. And they say, no, dancing is about fun. Don't take it serious. Enjoy yourself. And plus, like I said, that my character is, he's fun and it's not supposed to be. Not supposed to win Dance India dance or something like that. So
it's easy to forget when you're watching a superhero movie, that superhero show or any superhero content, that at the heart of it, why we watch superhero stories and why we like to listen to superhero stories is because us as humans put ourselves in the situation. What would happen if I was faced with this choice, whether to save my family or to save the world, whether to go to my dad or to go to the right thing, whether to fight with my family or to fight with the world. And that really comes across, at least in the initial episodes of Miss Marvel, why it endeared to all of us here on this panel and otherwise as well, because it's about Yusuf and Muniba and Amir and Kamala, discovering each other, and Kamala discovering them all over again, knowing who she is, and she's a jinn, and she comes from the clandestines and things. And this last moment of the show, which I'm going to play now, is our collective favorite moment, which brings it back to that initial point where you are reminded that Yusuf at the end of the day is a father who's trying to reach out to his daughter. Of course, there's the funny moments with the Hulk and the dancing, but he's at the heart of it, just really in love with this little girl in front of him. So let's see this one.
Beta, you were just so perfect. That's what Kamal means in Arabic. Perfect. But in Urdu, it's more like, what's the word? Wonder. Marvel. Kamal means marvel.
I share the same name as Carol frickin' Danvers.
I don't know who that is. But you sure are, and always have been, our own little Miss Marvel.
This scene really is such a wonderful moment. Did you know that the whole series is going to end on this scene between you and Iman?
Yeah, when I got the scripts, yeah.
I mean, because it's a big moment, and you leave with it, and then Yusuf looks at her and says magic, and you fade to black. It's magical, that moment. Like, I get goosebumps talking about it.
Yeah. So the words magic, absolute magic, for some sound or something in the levels or something was not right. So they said we're going to try and salvage whether we use the original or something. So I think I was in I don't remember where. Somewhere I was, or maybe in India. I don't remember where, but I dubbed those two words magic, absolute magic.
Cute.
And so the way it would happen was that I'd be dubbing here, and on a screen, so there's the screen there, and I'm watching it and doing my lip sync, and then there's a screen over here, monitor, where Sana, the dubbing producer, the editor, the post-production director, everybody would be on Zoom. And they've seen it a gazillion times, right? And they said that they think every time we've been editing this scene or whatever we've been doing, when every time we come to the scene, it's like you said, get goosebumps. See, every time this scene plays out, and we've seen it so many times, I think we get goosebumps and our eyes tear up, And I knew that this scene is that. I knew this scene is that. And I told the directors, because they wanted me to say it in a certain way. So I said, Adil, trust me on this. I know the pitch, I know the punch, I know where to pause, I know where to do this one. मैं बाप का roles करता हूँ यार, मेरे को पता है ये. I know how to punch this emotion. We Indians know how to eke that emotion, but I couldn't do it too much also. बेटा, I couldn't do that. बात लग जाती यार, बेटा. Next episode, Yusuf Khan would be maroing jhadu outside Muniba's kitchen or something like that. So I told Adil, I said, bro, just trust me on this one. So he just looked at me and said, okay. And they left me. And yeah, and it's very hard to believe because I get so taken in my scenes. And when I say sur, if I catch that sur, when I said it, I had goosebumps on set on the day.
You knew you had something special.
Yeah, and when I delivered that scene and that dialogue, and I said, you are and always have been Miss Marvel. I had goosebumps, man. I had goosebumps on the day at the back of my neck and all that. And they finished that, and then she exits frame, and then I just look like this. And in fact, that thing about magic, absolute magic, Adil shouted from there saying, oh, say magic, absolute magic. So I didn't have a brief of kidhar look. I knew the look. Okay, she's going like this. Oh, look aise karna. So then I just said, magic. Absolute magic. And then cut. Then they said, we'll take the magic, absolute magic as another shot. Okay. Because that's the shot where, you see her in foreground. She's just exiting, just her legs. You can see her going. And then
her light is on your face.
Yeah. So we did that again. But after we finished that, he says, say magic, absolute magic. After that finish, sound guy, costume guy, somebody else, they all came and they said, Mr. Kapur, you made us cry. I was like, what? I mean, I shooting pe kaun roega yaar, pagal hai kya? But they were like, this thing you made us cry in a lot of your scenes, but this one is special. So I said, okay, because I have this one thumb rule that, if the people over here have caught the emotion, the drama, the humor, the whatever, then the audience has got it. So I knew that this scene is a clincher. And then during the dub of that magic, absolute magic, and when they said every time we watch this, our hair stands at end and we tear up every time. I said, thank God, man, because it is a very, very precious scene.
Yeah.
Very valuable scene.
I really hope that in your future outings with this cast, I really hope that you get to explore this family dynamic even further, even more, and the interpersonal relationships. Gayle, I'm going to throw it to you while I go through the chat and see if anyone's asking us any questions. Gayle.
So speaking of family dynamic, how did you build this with Iman and with Zenobia? Did you have a chemistry test or a sort of screen test with them? How did you meet them for the first time? I mean, you mentioned talking to Zenobia about that whole dance sequence and being nervous about it. How did you build that dynamic and that chemistry with her?
Okay, let's start with, you started with that, screen test thing you threw in. So I did an audition for this, and this is something that it occurred to me later when the guy playing my son Amir, the guy playing his son Sagar, he said this to me. Because one day we were sitting and chatting, and so he's saying that, and how many auditions did you have? So I said, audition? I said, I did one, Bombay. And then with Disney and with Marvel and the Zoom and all that, with other actors and all. I said, no. I think you did one. You just sent your tape. I said, yeah, I sent my tape. I think that was all you sent. I said, not only did I send it, he said, how many takes? I said, I shot one take. I got the sur. I sent that take. Because my friend who was giving me cues, she's saying, let's do one more, man. Marvel hai yaar. I said, "Arey yaar, sur mil gaya. Kya 10 baar kaun karega yaar? Chal na." I said, I know that I've got it. Ab mila. Marvel hai yaar. Mere ko kyun Marvel milega? Pagal hai kya? So I said, no. So one take I shot, one take I sent. So they were like, you did one take and you sent that one take and you are in Miss Marvel. He's saying, we have done bloody 30 auditions. So that what Gayle, what you were saying, that that they had, especially I believe Iman did that. She did one screen test with somebody. Obviously, it was all on Zoom because she was in Canada. With somebody else and with somebody else. So just to get those dynamics with those characters and all that. So they said, you didn't do it with anybody? I said, no. So yeah. So starting from the screen test, no, we didn't do. Now, it was peak COVID and America was reeling under that. We landed over there. I landed over there on the 12th of October, 2020. And we started shooting. But here's the other interesting thing that 6th November was a Friday. And the first shot of Miss Marvel season 1 was of Yusuf Khan walking in the corridor. I don't remember which one was it. Yeah, I think he's taking a mithai and going, and then which later gets cut into that Kamala. And then he enters the room and she says, oh, boo. And he says, no, nothing. So that walk in the corridor, that was the first shot of Miss Marvel season 1, which was done with me. So I was damn excited. I said, hey, man, I launched it and all that stuff. And then Saturday, Sundays we have off. And then 9th of November, we started with the rest of the crew. So peak COVID, 9th November in America. So there was we were in a bio bubble. You're either in your house or you're on set. Everybody who comes in contact with actors, including actors, has to get COVID tested every alternate day. So actors, director, writer, creator, not editor, sound, camera, hair and makeup, anybody, who comes in contact, our personal assistants, people who have to handle us and that drivers, everybody. So it was very strict. And so we couldn't kind of say, chalo, let's go out, catch a beer or catch a movie or something. We couldn't hang, we couldn't talk, we couldn't
No
do anything.
chill scenes.
Yeah, no chill scenes. So everything that happened was in those moments when we were in our red zone, where we'd be chatting. But usually, why would Iman and these youngsters come and chat with Buddhas like Zenobia and me? And what do we, and especially me, because I don't know the nuance or the semantics of the American
American
team.
Indian life. Yeah.
No, not American Indians. The American team, because off camera they were Americans. I didn't know the semantic. मैं बात करूं तो क्या करूं यार? What is the syntax? What is the syntax? I had no clue. So I would just sit there like a dehati and listen and think, "Right, मेरे को तो कुछ भी नहीं मालूम है यार." And Zenobia would be in her own world, and so yeah. So we didn't really kind of bond. But here's the thing: I truly believe that the superhero of Miss Marvel is the writing. Because the writing is immaculate. It did 80% of our job. And then the next part is casting. Now I'm speaking in third person, okay? Imagine the privilege a Mohan Kapur gets being an Indian to play a Pakistani immigrant in New Jersey, who then turns out to be the father of the superhero, which even he doesn't. Okay? Because he's just a happy-go-lucky, loving father, protective father, very encouraging father and all that. Zenobia, Parsi from Bombay, 32 years in New York doing theater, television, film, whatever. Sagar Sheikh playing Amir Khan. He's a Pakistani born and brought up in Texas. Iman Vellani playing Kamala Khan and Miss Marvel, Pakistani born and brought up in Canada. If you really go to see the whole the DNA of the casting, it actually fits. They are second generation Pakistanis in the Americas. We are first generation, Indian, this thing, who are in America. I mean, I'm as a visitor. Zenobia is an American, but first generation who's moved there. So I think the sensibilities just came together. All that we bring from the South Asian, because what Amir and Kamala had to be, Sagar and Iman were in their second generation world. Mohan and Zenobia, we had our characters to play. There was nothing more to it, but I'm saying that because also we didn't get time to bond and all that.
Yeah.
The writing gave us that. It gave us the entire, call it DNA, you call it anything, man. It just gave us the tapestry to work on. And then came the Iman and them playing their roles, us bringing our stuff. Me, especially because I am not an American. I just played Yusuf Khan. And for me, it was the writing. People said, what preparation did you do? I said, nothing. I got up, had a bath, and went. That you didn't do any preparation for a father. I thought, what preparation do you do for a father? Baap banna padta hai kya? I'm not even married. I don't have children. I've not even seen my father's face. I was 9 months old when he passed away. So I don't even know what a father figure is. So what I played, all my father roles in India, television, film, whatever, is my idea of what I would be as a father. If I have to be a loving father, then this is Yusuf Khan is the mold of that, and then there are the evil fathers I've played, which whatever. So I think it just came together so beautifully. It was just it was magic. It was like an orchestra piece, Every instrument, every note just came and it formed this lovely symphony, man. Because one of those things would have been out of place. Now then, wo dikhta ke, but that was the weakling. Weakling tha. But just magically, it all came together. Everyone and we're all somewhere South Asian, right? Kamala and Amir bringing their second generation South Asian sensibilities. Kamala, basically, what is she? She's an American who's rebelling against that parents who are trying to say, but keep up with your values, your culture, your history, your this. But that's not important to me. That's you. That's not me. Sagar, on the other hand, is this little devout Muslim, and the father actually jokes about it. First scene, first dialogue.
Yeah.
Amir, if you don't stop praying and I put some food in your mouth, you're gonna die someday. First dialogue. It just puts everybody in context, everybody, Muniba, Kamala, Amir, Yusuf. That one scene tells you everything, which is why Adil said, I cannot do this in cuts. It has to be a steady cam shot, which everything, the way it was choreographed.
Yeah.
And in fact, we were called one day before just to choreograph that one scene because we had to get it right. So when this camera will cross this pillar, you start talking, that guy start talking. It has to be, the paper will come down so that nobody gets blocked. All those things was choreographed to the T.
So fun, yeah, so fun. Speaking of actors, Gayle also had this really nice observation that MCU fathers so far have just been like really terrible people. Odin and my favorite moment from the Hindi Benedict Cumberbatch moment is when he calls Thor Odin Putra. So Odin Putra. So Odin and Ego and Howard Stark and Yusuf.
And Thanos, the worst dad.
Thanos is the worst father of them all. But here comes Yusuf who changes that. So Gayle, you want to talk to that a little bit more?
Yeah, no, I really love what you said about this being the kind of father that you imagine you would be if you were to be a loving father. The family dynamic is one of my favorite parts of the show, and it's so warm and so caring. Was there more of that we didn't get to see? Were there scenes that you shot that didn't make it to the final show?
Yeah, this is also a question that's come from Nostalgic Love Tunes. Also the same question. Are there any scenes that did not make the final cut of the show?
No. This is exactly as per script, as per dialogue. And as I said right up at the top, that there were improvisations, but those were done in rehearsal, accepted or rejected, and then included into the scene.
Isn't that rare to have like no cutscenes? Like everything was exactly as it is on paper? Is it?
Yeah, because their writer's studio, they spent time on that. It's all about that bound script. All about that bound script. I mean, you keep getting updates, you keep getting version 1, pink script, now blue script, now follow the pink script, the yellow script. That changes. I mean, they've added some line, changed some line, or given this line to that person, or this, that. All that is there. But that is your Bible. That is your Bible.
Another question has come from Think Hero, and this person wants to know: did you get to suggest anything of the soundtrack in the show? Because the soundtrack is quite fantastic.
Actors, no.
Not at all. Okay. Never mind. Moving on from that question. Alankar, Joey, and Nidhi Bhatia have a similar question that there's a big moment where Yusuf tells the story of the partition of the 1947 August story. How did you approach? How did you approach that moment? Because it kind of changes the tonality of the show entirely.
Yeah, because that's like a point from where things now start.
The pivot.
Opening up. Yeah.
So how did you approach that moment?
I go back. It's the writing. It gave me what I need. I mean, the words gave me. There was one change that I did. I mean, not change, but I made an addition because the line was when Trevina, what's her name, Taisha, she's saying that. So were you always in Pakistan? When did you move to Pakistan? I said, we've been there from generations. Muniba's family, they moved after partition. And then Muniba says something and this thing. So he says that, there was no, Pakistan or this, that. It was all one big this thing and then Pakistan. So in the rehearsal, I did it and I said, hang on. I said, yahan pe kuch political gadbad hai. So I went to the director and I called Sana also. And I said that, I think we should actually say the word. So they saying, what? So I said, the line should actually be, oh no. Back then, there was no Pakistan, this, that. It was all just one big country, India. Have to say it was all one big country, India. Pakistan kahan se hai? It's not like somebody put one line and said, hey, chal, aaj isko Pakistan. No, it came from India and there is a huge story behind that. And it's amazing that Marvel touched upon it. I mean, there are so many fantastic things that Marvel has done with Miss Marvel and the writers have done with Miss Marvel. It's amazing. So when I read that script and I realized that this is that pivot point, and but the way the scene was constructed, that because Muniba has trauma about that, because she knows about her family past and all that, she exits the table. She cannot be over there.
Yeah.
Which is why her parting thing to that, okay, enough stories, Yusuf and all that. And he was like, yeah, okay, and all that. And there's some amazing cuts of Kamala and Amir on the dinner table, and when Yusuf being the storyteller, always wanting to do something. He sees Muniba is gone, and then he turns to me, hey, but have you heard that one about her mother? Then he starts the story and things like that. And he's a storyteller. So I approached it as storytelling because Yusuf doesn't know anything about Muniba's family past. I asked this specifically, does Yusuf know? So they said no. So I said jokingly, I said that ये कैसी शादी है? Yusuf is a bloody idiot है. उसको पता ही नहीं कि उसकी बीवी क्या हो रहा है उसके खानदान में यार वहाँ पे. Those guys bloody go fighting into nonsense. He's a sweet little banker who drives a Prius, man. So yeah, so they said no, he doesn't. So for me, which is why. So when he starts, there's a lovely expression between Iman and Amir, where Iman and Sagar, where they both look like it's like. She's playing the fool and she looks at him and she smiles at her brother. And the brother goes, it's like, here he goes again.
Hello, suno kahani.
Oh man, when I saw that at the premiere, I was like so chuffed. I said, what a shot. What a lovely shot to include. Because it adds to Yusuf's character.
Yeah.
That look of theirs, it adds to my character. It was so, and those two, they did it just so beautifully, man. So yeah, so then that scene kind of took it from there. And then in fact, the other moment that I really loved, which obviously comes way second to the final scene of how she gets her name, Kamala, was this scene where he starts saying that, and then Kamala completes it, follow the trail of stars.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that. And the timing came out also very well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that.
So before we wrap up, Suchin, I'm going to throw it back to you because I feel like you haven't spoken in a little bit. So why don't you ask some questions and then I'm going to go through the chat again and then we are going to wrap this up. Suchin.
No, so one thing I really wanted to ask you, which you keep talking about, is you specifically told that you don't want to go into the stereotype zone, and as an audience, so much of the show is goosebumps for us. It's so whether it's the soundtrack, you just really feel like it is us, it's our culture represented so well, and that's us as an audience. So whether it's the wedding scene, whether it's talking about partition, so for you, was there a specific moment or a specific scene where you were like, I'm in a Marvel project and I can't believe I'm shooting this, or sort of depicting was there a specific scene where it blew your mind that something like this was in a Marvel project?
I don't think there was a moment or a scene. For me, I was like a kid in a candy shop the minute I landed there. I landed there once from my apartment, then when we went to the studio and then met everyone. And we did the first reading, the entire cast, we did the first reading. And I still remember, I mean, everybody's seen episode 1, so you know that there are a lot of scenes that Yusuf is not there. So I would only turn the page of my script when I'd see other people turning, because obviously they who are reading it, they have reached that point. But what I would do is I'd be watching them perform or read, So I would just keep doing this. And most of the thing was Iman, playing Kamala. I kid you guys not, and everybody who's here listening to this show, trust me, day one of reading, script reading, table read as we call it.
Yeah.
I was looking Kamala like this, and then finally when it ended, they just go, scene. And they ended scene, I was like, and Kamala was across it because of this 6-foot distance and all that thing, so she was way across this thing. And I was just like, man, I jumped up from my chair and I started clapping. I said, oh my God. I said, you were born to play Kamala Khan.
So amazing.
Because she has what she's done over here, of course, on camera is 100 times that. But what she did on the first table read, I was like, who is this girl? She had it back. Because here's the thing. Iman Vellani is exactly like Kamala Khan. She's a Marvel geek.
Yeah.
She's a Marvel geek.
Yeah.
So all her shoe designs, the diary she has to do, she's made it herself for camera.
Amazing.
She has made it herself.
Amazing.
She is that. So she just segued from Iman Vellani into Kamala Khan, Miss Marvel. It was just cake. The makers, they showed us this clip of all of them in Zoom, and when Kevin Feige tells her, he's saying, okay, we just like to tell you, we have selected you to play Kamala. She's like, I'm trying to cut. She didn't know what to do. Like, she's at that time, 2 years, 3 years ago, she was an awkward little teenager. Yeah.
Oh.
And she didn't know what to do. She's like, I'm trying to hold my tears. I don't know what to do. And I was, oh man, it was so amazing. In fact,
Her
the other
life
day,
has changed forever in that moment.
yeah. In fact,
Forever.
Kevin Feige, the other day, he organized a Zoom conference call between all cast and crew for Miss Marvel the day the last episode landed.
Huh.
And just to say that what a journey, and he's saying, I got to tell you all, this thing is the most phenomenal thing that Marvel has ever done. It has, changed the perception of not changed the perception, it has reinforced the perception and the philosophy of Marvel that we always do something different, while
Yeah.
giving the entertainment and all that. And then everyone exchanging stories and that. And then Iman came on and something happened. And then she said that 24th, what month are we in? July?
Yeah, 7.
So 24th, I think, of June, if I'm not mistaken. Don't quote me this, but I think she said 24th of June. Or was it? I don't remember. No, it was very recent, but it was literally the day we had the Zoom call. It was about 2 days ago. She celebrated her 2-year anniversary to the day where she was approved as Kamala.
Oh my goodness. Oh, that is so sweet. Oh, what a sweet story. I bet she's amazing. I bet she's just like this ray of sunshine person to hang around. And I really appreciate her casting also because she's a good actor and she has that cultural background that this character also has, but also because she is a teenager who looks like a teenager. She's not dressed like Supergirl. Her costume is not a micro mini and fancy shoes and things and like blow dried hair. Her hair is awkward, her costume is awkward. Even the costume that Muniba gives her is awkward in the end. She's still wearing the sneakers as she runs on the lightning things, and she's a teenager in a teenager's body, and I really appreciated that because my first thought was when I was 13 and 14 years old and I looked like that. I was that awkward teenager in school, and there were these more better put together girls, and I always felt bad about myself. If I had seen this show back then and if I had seen myself represented, not just in the cultural context but also in the context of a woman, of a young girl turning into womanhood, that this is okay. It's okay to look like that. Most of us look like that, and I really appreciate her casting for more reason than one. I bet she's amazing.
Yeah. So Suchin, to complete your answer, because I just went off on a tangent because I'm just so starstruck. I'm just so starstruck about my stories about Iman because she's just so brilliant, man. And I had to tell the world that from first reading, I knew that she's got it. She's got it. So when did I know there was a moment? No, there was no moment, no scene. It was just the whole experience, Somebody asked me on the red carpet, so doesn't it feel like a dream come true? I said, pagal hai kya? I said, apni auqat kahan hai yaar to dream of Marvel, Hollywood, and red carpet. I said, I don't have the audacity to dream something like this, man. I said, how can you? I said, what is happening with me now is a dream. I don't want to wake up from it. I didn't dream of this that has come true. This is the dream.
Yeah.
This is the dream. So for me, everything, I was like a kid in a candy shop looking at their fancy equipment, their camera, their precision, their call sheets, the detailing that they do. And, everything is by the clock.
Yeah.
5 o'clock, pick up, car will be there at 4:45. You go down, car will take you. The guys on the walkie will say, bringing in Mr. Kapur. Gates open, the car enters, you're there, your trailer, your personal assistant is there, she'll take you in. And she's asked you or she's gotten to know you over a few days. So your coffee is there. She's saying, do you want your breakfast now? So, yeah, okay. So she knows my breakfast order, blah, blah.
Sure, Didi.
So I was like, damn, man. So the experience was Marvel.
Yes.
It was not just the show. Everything. I would go and see the sets and I'll say, so that's how they do it. Yeah.
Amazing.
Their house, the Khan house. I mean, I'm looking at it because I was not in one seat. I'm standing in the monitor and I'm looking. I'm thinking, Salah, the same thing you watch on a WandaVision or whatever the thing. And you think they've shot it in some suburb of New Jersey. No, it's on a set. I used to literally go and I used to touch the leaf.
Did you steal anything? Did you steal anything from set?
I used to touch the bark of the tree, then suddenly something would shake and under a pipe. And I was like,
What, you've been doing this for decades now. You've been doing this for decades. How can you still be awestruck on a movie set?
Because the difference, see, that's what people ask. They're saying that what is the difference between this and that? There's no difference. I mean, the craft is the same. Okay.
Yeah.
And let's not diss out our Indian Hindi film industry, man. We've got the Dharmas, the Excels, and Vishal Bhardwaj. Their production is like that.
Yeah.
They have that kind of detailing, that kind of attention to detail. So please, I mean, if anybody does, oh, Marvel, no. The thing that Marvel and Hollywood has is budgets.
Yeah.
They have scale. They have
Both paisa.
discipline. Yeah, they have discipline. I mean, I remember when we finished something, there was something that they had to do a photo shoot with me. So something happened and they delayed me and all that, but I was just sitting over there, and then finally, at 6 o'clock was pack up. 5:40 they took me in. And the person who's in charge of that was screaming. And the minute she saw me coming, she said, I'm really sorry, Mohan, but I gotta get some asses kicked over here. Get him on, do this, da, da, da. So then I went on, she said, okay, now this is only still. Do this, do this, do this, do this. I did that, got over. Now just walk on to the next platform. Okay, now that's video. Now do something like this, or do something like that. Hey, yeah, so all that done. Okay, back. Time 59:60, 6 o'clock.
Wow, wow, wow.
I went to that lady, I said, why were you bursting a blood vessel? 6 baje ka, 6:30 ho jate hai. Kya, why such hurry? She said, we can't do that. Because then we have to pay overtime. And you don't just pay one person overtime, you pay the entire unit overtime.
तो आप आधे घंटे का भी ओवरटाइम देते हो? क्या बात कर रहे हो?
Did you take anything?
घंटे का overtime, उन लोग किस चीज का पैसा नहीं देते. If you don't get a lunch break, you get money.
I'm feeling so jealous because I've never been in an environment in any field, in radio, television, internet, where anyone's been like, you should get paid overtime right now. Like, I don't think I've had that word spoken to me ever.
No, they don't say
Overtime? We
paid
don't know
overtime. They're saying aaj overtime shoot karna padega.
Amaze balls.
They don't talk about payment overtime. They talk about working overtime.
So Suchin is asking you a question for like 5 minutes.
No,
Did you
I'm very excited to know. You were talking about the leaves. Is there anything you stole from the set?
any keepsakes you've taken back with you? Stole or with
Yeah.
permission, whatever.
Taken.
They
Put it
gave it to us. I actually wanted, we have these typical actors' chairs, they're these wooden chairs with thing, and they've got a little sling bag on the side where you can put your bottle, your camera, your phone or whatever you want. And at the back, it's like a kapde ka sheet. Oh shit, I'm sitting in London. I suddenly thought I'll go and get that and I'll show everybody.
Take it in your check-in baggage everywhere.
So, seat ke piche na wo kursiyan, they're collapsible chairs, but uske piche there's a canvas, this thing where they've got two things and it goes into the thing. So in the front, which goes on my back, is my name, Yusuf, and at the back is the logo of Miss Marvel,
How lovely.
which is embroidered on that. So we all love that, yeah. So they said that, yeah, of course. So yeah, at the end of the day, they give all of us our seat back.
I like how comfortable Mohan's gotten in this conversation. He thinks like वो घर पहुंच गए बात करते करते.
No, I actually zoned out. मैं कहाँ बैठा हूँ? I actually looked and I said, ये दरवाजा अलग लग रहा है, ये मेरा bedroom नहीं है यार. Oh shit. What's wrong?
So before we wrap up, there are lots of people who are watching us, and everybody who's watching, please like this stream so it will reach more people and people will know that we had this amazing conversation. Last question to you, Mohan. What has Miss Marvel, the show, eventually achieved? And I was going through the publicity stills of this show, and I just love this picture. I just love that this is like this grainy photo that they made all of y'all pose for, and then probably went on the set in one photo frame at some, in the house. And it actually looks like it's this lovely, sweet little family.
This was our first thing on digital celluloid. This was the first photograph ever taken of Miss Marvel.
And such like look at the actors, like Yusuf's. You can tell his entire personality from just the way he's standing and looking at the camera. Muniba, exactly the way.
What you can't see is the way you can see over there, his hand is over Amir's left shoulder.
Yeah.
Between Amir's beard and Muniba's head.
Yeah.
Is his hand, his fingers. That how he's holding the son. What you can't see is the way he's holding his daughter. Hand on her shoulder. So, I mean, because I know people like Yusuf Khan, loving, warm, Muslim, loving, warm. This family, I know so many of them. So a lot of those friends, dads and all that is Yusuf Khan that I've played. So this body language, this smile, this sense. Look at the pride in
Yeah,
Yusuf Khan's
exactly.
face.
Like just the way his
The
neck is
ownership.
tilted, you can tell exactly the kind of person he is just looking back at this picture.
Yeah, yeah. And Iman, because this expression of hers is part of a scene.
Yeah.
So that's why she's got this expression. But it works so good for even a family photograph.
Yeah.
You know, it
And
just works
Amir's
so
also,
good.
he's like, Amir's all cleaned up and he's this
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
good boy standing there, like
Yeah,
good
yeah.
boy.
Namaz karke aaya hai.
हाँ अच्छा बच्चा है और mummy is just like posing like all mummies do. All mummies
Yeah,
have this smile. Every single mother I know has this smile and this way of looking into the camera, and the way she keeps her hair also. It's like an outdated hairstyle, but she refuses to change it because she's had this for 20 years and it works for her face cut.
Yeah,
मेरे face के साथ यही suit होता है.
exactly. Yeah, so Miss
yeah.
Marvel, the show is, what has it achieved? I think it's achieved everything it set out to be, which is a true representation of a South Asian community, which is culturally rich and it's so diverse, and it's a story of this one particular family that's in New Jersey. And people, the reason why this resonates with people is because, and not just Muslims, with South Asians, is because it's somewhere they see themselves in it. Because a Bollywood song and dance in a shadi is not the criteria of just a Pakistani family or just a Hindu family or just, it's anybody from this region, they celebrate that.
Yeah.
So a lot of these things resonated, and like I always have been saying, I'm saying that it's not, Miss Marvel is not a superhero story. The superhero is the family.
Yeah.
इस फैमिली की स्टोरी में एक छोटी बच्ची आती है, कमाला, who discovers she's got powers. So the soul of this whole thing is about the family, and that the reason why, and it's so different from everything that Marvel has done. I mean, Marvel has a green big Hulk. He has got some techno wizard. He's got a guy with a bloody hammer. He's got a guy who gets angry and turns green. He's got a woman who bloody is great with arrows. They've got everything that is nobody normal. Got a doctor who becomes a magician. It's, there's nothing. It's fantastical. The Marvel universe is fantastical. But suddenly, you turn around and see. Yeah. And a lot of people turned around and said, I think on Twitter, a few people said, this doesn't look like a Marvel show. It looks like a Disney show. It's a family show. And I don't see it as a bad thing. I don't see it as a bad thing, which is why the collaboration, Disney and Marvel.
Yeah.
The values that Disney brings to all their projects, to
family entertainment, family viewing.
Yeah, and the way Marvel brings what they bring. I think it's an amazing marriage. It's an amazing marriage of Disney and Marvel. It's an amazing marriage of Sana, Visha Ali, the three directors. And so cleverly, each director was given their episode. Adil and Bilal were given episode 1. The energy, the magic. I called episode 1 is Marvel on steroids. And then they got episode 6, which is all about, again, the big action, the energy and all that, which is Adil and Bilal. Their frenetic energy. Episode 2 and 3, Meera Menon. The whole thing about the Eid, the Shadi, this, that, and the other. Episode 4 and 5, Karachi, finding out the background of this Muniba and Muniba's family, and therefore Kamala's powers and all that. What is the antecedents to all that? Given to Sharmeen Ubaid Chinoy, a Pakistani, a very decorated director.
Yeah.
So she uses the Pakistani ethos and the fabric of that storytelling. And then, of course, 6 is again Adil and Bilal. So that Disney, Marvel, these people, Sana Amanat, the music people, Laura Cup, representation, what has it achieved? It's achieved the pinnacle of representation in its truest sense. Whether it's casting, whether it's technical crew, whether it's casting crew, I mean, we've all...
Writing, music, direction, acting, everyone.
It's textbook. It's textbook representation. And what it has achieved is ownership. The viewers, the audience have claimed ownership that this is ours. This is us. Because the story basically is about an immigrant family in a land which is not their own. But today they call it home. And it's so easy to accept that. We are not shouting from the rooftops, watch us, we are talking about Ya Allah, Lillah, and all that. No, it's not. It's a story of a regular family. Sai Paranjpe ki filmon mein kya hota tha? She turned around and said, this is a Marathi family. Or it's a family, yaar. Aur kahani usme dekho. So it's a sweet story of a family. And in that, we're giving you the thrills and, the whole thing of a young girl going out to achieve her dreams. Firstly believing in her dreams, sticking to it, and then going out and achieving it, and becoming the savior of New Jersey.
My heart was already so full, despite some issues that I have with the show. But after talking to you, I'm feeling even more. I'm feeling like I wanna you don't really get to recommend MCU movies and shows to your parents. कि ये देख कर आओ, डॉक्टर स्ट्रेंज बड़ी अच्छी लगी है, या थॉर लव एंड थंडर, बिकॉज दिल बी लाइक क्या है ये, कौन है, क्या बैकग्राउंड है, मैंने 29 मूवीज नहीं देखी है इसके पहले, बट दिस इज अ शो दैट माय पेरेंट्स.
Thor's hammer, man.
Mjolnir.
Mjolnir.
You'll be dubbing for it in the next movie.
खट्टा आंवला खा के
खट्टा खा लिया, नींबू मुंह में नींबू है. No, but this is something that my family I can recommend, and this was, I recommend them The Big Sick, and I was like, yeah, dekho picture, Big Sick, watch this movie. And this is like a fun little thing that I can recommend. Suchin and Gayle, before we closing thoughts, we have Mohan with us for a couple more minutes.
I don't put it on me. I am here. I've come late. So don't close it because I'm here. Means I'm going. I don't even know whether I'm in Bombay or London.
No, घर पे बैठा हो या होटल में हो. But Suchin, yes, go na.
No, I was just going to say it's everything you were saying about how, for everyone that you believe loves the show, I guarantee you the first 2 episodes have their own dedicated fan base, and it really is because of the Khan family. And I can't wait to see the entire family again in Captain Marvel or the Marvels or whatever it is. But thank you so much for doing this, and it really is just that family really is the soul of the show, and it really is the best thing about it. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. And Suchin, I follow your work because on my favorites the subscribe list mein jo aata na, subscribe. So Film Companions, Sucharita, you guys, all of you guys are just fantastic, because when I want to have fun, I go and watch Kamala Khan or Kamal K. Khan, what is his name?
Yeah, okay.
He's hilarious, man. I mean, he's hilarious. He's so funny. It's like watching those old Doordarshan comedy shows now.
He has viewership than all of us combined, and then some.
Marvel level. He's reach, basically India's Marvel. Yeah.
The reach that he has.
Funny. And I love the way he said, इसको मैं rating दूंगा 2 और उसके साथ आप 2.
Kid doesn't give a shit.
I actually rewinded. I said, what?
It does not give a shit.
2 और उसके साथ आप 2. Straight face.
Yeah, no, he doesn't give a shit what anyone thinks about him. Gayle is, she's a very soft-spoken girl, but like
soft-spoken and small-spoken. She doesn't speak.
But
tell her, Gayle, over to you.
Of all of us, if there's one person who knows this space, it's her. No one knows it better than she does. Like, I go to Gayle when I have any MCU related questions. So Gayle.
In fact, Parul, my publicist, she speaks so highly of it. She's saying, "Oh, Gayle is superb. She's superb." I said, "Yeah, I know."
Look at you, girl.
I'm blushing.
Awkward. Thoughts?
No, I just wanted to say thank you for bringing so much warmth and so much love to a role, and really making the Khan family the heart of the show. I can't wait to see what you do next in the Marvels.
Yeah. And I'm actually, of course, the Marvels is not a Khan story. Though, now everyone's talking.
It should be, but yeah, okay.
Yeah, but they're saying that, the Khans have really, they've resonated with the Captain Marvel world. So let's see how that turns out. But I'm very excited, and I'm praying, crossing fingers. Like at the end of the premiere, I was telling Bilal, I'm saying, bro, season 2, man, it has to happen. And he called me Momacita. He's like, Momacita, not only season 2, we gotta do the film, bro. We gotta do the film, bro. I said, yeah, film season 2, whatever it takes, man. But I said, yesterday, who was it? Somebody told me, he said, I saw your Miss Marvel, and he's saying, I'm damn pissed off with the show. I said, why? He's saying, 6 episodes mein khatam.
Yeah.
My sister.
Before you joined, Suchin was saying the same thing. This is the one show that he said that we would have liked more episodes of.
Yeah. It needed it, yeah.
My sister, she's the one who said yesterday in Florida. She's saying I saw it, but she's saying it's damn pissing off. I said, what happened? She's saying, just 6 episodes. She's saying, I wanted more. By the end of it, you're craving for more. And it's like, of course, it completes it and everything and all that. But she's saying, yeah. And I agree with everybody, because I feel that there was more. But I think that they've done the arcs, they've done everyone's stories, they've just done it so perfectly and closed it. It's precious as it is. Because अपने लिए अपने ग्रीड के लिए हम कुछ करते, तो वो शायद बोलते कि अब यार थोड़ा खींच रहा है, अब चल ना, कम करना, छोड़ना.
But I would honestly take a whole series of shots of just the Khan family sitting at the dinner table, arguing about whatever it is they're arguing about. Iman rolling her eyes, Yusuf trying to be that cool dad. I would honestly take a whole series of shots.
Another scene that I really liked is when Muniba and Kamala, they come back from Karachi, and the scene opens with the bags open and everyone's asking you like, kya hamare liye kya laya? That's such a South Asian thing. Did you get this? Did you get this? And I told this thing, somebody, I told Muniba that I'm going to say, अरे वो मिठाई कहाँ है? I told you to get it लाल बाजार से वो मिठाई लाने के लिए. So all these things, which is such a South Asian thing.
The most South Asian thing is the second the plane lands in Karachi, everybody stands up. Yeah. And the air hostess is like, please sit down, you guys, sit down. But I'm like, hey, so we have this in common with Pakistanis. Or we stand up also. The minute it touches the tarmac, we're like, okay.
ST bus hai na, आप पहुंच गए, निकलो.
निकलो अभी अगली बस छूट जाएगी. Yeah, no. So that's way, like, so many nice throwaway moments which kind of resonate culturally with a huge population that is watching this show, that is feeling a certain way about this show. And I am just so happy that you are continuing to do this, and you are not, power to Farhan and power to Fawad, but those were just actors who came in for their episodes and then went away. It's not like we're going to see Farhan Akhtar in the MCU, and it's not like we're going to see more of Fawad Khan as much as I would like to. But I don't think
this is the MCU.
You never know. Listen, you bring. मेरे को कोई problem नहीं है. Please, Fawad, Farhan, Mehwish Hayat, सबको लेकर आओ. But I'm glad that you are at least definitely doing the very next thing that is in continuation of this story. And I wish you nothing but success in the MCU, Mohan.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yeah.
मजे आ गए.
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun.
अच्छा लगता है ना ऐसे खोल के.
I should start now, getting some cliched answers, but I can't because it's a job for me, and I love the process. I just enjoy the whole thing, and it's fantastical, it's magical, and it's stuff of dreams, man. And for me, this is a dream. So I'm saying, मेरे को उठाना मत यार, कुछ भी करो उठाना मत. चलने दो. So I just hope the next thing, whatever it is, happens soon, but it'll take some time. So yeah. Hopefully.
More power to you, Mohan. Thank you so much for your 1 hour, 1.5 hours almost today. And thank you for your time, Gayle and Suchin. Everybody who's watching, before you leave, please make sure that you hit that like button and please subscribe to my channel. I'm working really hard to grow this, to bring you more such conversations and more such conversations with people, about the shows that we're watching. So please subscribe to the channel and like button दबाएंगे तो ये stream है सबके पास पहुंच जाएगी. Thanks everybody. Bye.
Gayle, thank you so much. Suchin, thank you so much. And
Thank you so much for being here.
Sucharita, thank you so much for this, and you guys keep up the great work, because not only do we get to know of the truth behind what goes on in all the stuff that you all cover, but it's with great fun, intellect, and you especially, girl, you crack me up, man. The way
me?
Yeah, you.
Listen, the day I start doing Arc 2, that's when we will talk about me having done something special.
The way you're a more polished Mohan Kapur from Saap CD.
Saap CD, you made a board game larger than life, which you guys are younger than me. Do you remember watching Saap CD on TV, Suchin and Gayle? See? They don't remember.
I'm so glad Gayle is here.
I'm going on 34, so I was a baby when that was happening, and I remember watching it with my family because एक ही channel होता था TV पर और हम वही देखते थे. Mohan Kapur, you guys, do you know this? Mohan Kapur used to host this game show. Before game shows were a thing, it was like the first game show ever, where people were literally playing giant version of snakes and ladders, like going up ladders and coming down slides. It was so trippy. Like, I don't know who was smoking what when they came up with it, but they were playing snakes and ladders.
That sounds genius. Like, I'm not even joking. I would watch that.
Climbing up regress since then. We need to go back.
We need to go back to subseeding, you guys.
But that entire credit goes to Adi Pocha, the creator of the show, Adi Pocha.
Well, then he was smoking something, I assume, at that time.
You know, he doesn't smoke, yeah. He barely drinks a glass of beer, if at all.
Oh, well, for good reason, I think. Because imagine if he did, what he would come up with. But thank you so much, Mohan, and thanks, Suchin. Thanks, Gayle.
Thanks so much.
Thank you so much for all the love to everybody. And yeah, those who haven't watched it, watch Miss Marvel on Disney Plus Hotstar.